reach the leader and claim things. Why do the people blind? Kings of the earth do set themselves, and princes of the wine to plot against the Lord and his anointed saviors. Let us asunder break their bands and cast their cords from us. He that in heaven sits shall laugh, the Lord shall scorn them all. Then shall he speak to them in wrath, in rage he vents them shall. Yet notwithstanding, I have him to be my king appointed, and over Zion my holy hill. I have the king anointed, the sure decree I will declare. The Lord has said to me, thou art mine, only son, this day I have gotten thee. Last of me and for heritage, the heathen have made thine, and for possession I to thee will give us utmost thine. Thou shalt as with a weighty rod of iron break them all, and as a potter's shirt thou shalt dash in pieces small. Now therefore kings be wise, be tall, ye judges of the earth, serve God in fear, and see that ye join trembling with your birth. Kiss ye the Son, rest in his eye, he perished from the way. Once his wrath begin to burn, blessed all that on him stay.
Hey, let me remove that. How's everybody doing? I'm Stuart Davis. It's Thursday. Flawed man of God. My wife has got banchan on order that I'm waiting to go pick up. I'm excited. So should you be. Yeah, some people are a little down right now, but don't let politics ruin your day because what do we got? No matter no matter what goes on in the political world, what goes on in secular society, we have got the Lord. And we are going to talk about his word tonight on a flawed man of God. I am a humble parishioner at a small church just outside of Richmond, Virginia. Not a pastor, not a biblical scholar, I haven't been to seminary. I'm not trying to get you to join my church or donate to any special cause. What I'm here to do is talk about God, talk about Jesus, talk about the Holy Spirit, talk about the Bible, talk about Christianity, talk about a wide variety of different topics, issues, and current events, and give you my perspective on them, one that I think is reflective of your average Christian guy. Been a Christian all my life, 41 years, non denominational Protestant. Won't subscribe to any particular doctrine or denomination. I'm just in the Word daily, trying to do it better each and every day. Sometimes I'll get it right, often I'll get it wrong, but no matter what, as I adjust this camera, no matter what, if you're listening to me talk, if you're catching this stream, you can count on getting my honest takes on whatever it is we're talking about. So, if you are new to Christianity, if you are somebody who is seeking out faith, you're missing something in life, you feel lost, and you're just reaching out for something to grab a hold of and find meaning in things. Maybe there's a small voice in the back of your mind wondering if there's more to your existence than just your life here on earth. Welcome to the show. Quick spoiler alert at the beginning. I'm going to tell you it is Jesus. Jesus is what you're missing. If you're reaching out for Christianity, you're doing the right thing. And I'm glad that you're here so I can offer my take. Because I know there's a lot of things out there that are distracting. And I know that a lot of that stuff might make you feel little off because social media is full of these um, professionally contrived, scripted talk, Instagram reels, YouTube shorts, TikToks, whatever it is. Just talking. I know everything. They got it right. They know it all right there, and it's in. Why don't you believe that as well? We don't have that perspective here. Yes, we have 100% faith in God and Jesus, but we're not sitting here trying to tell everybody else exactly what their theology needs to be. You're not going to get a professional production on me. Just look at how the camera looks on me right now. I look like a Smurf, like a ghoulish Smurf. Look awful in this light. I don't know what is going on with the camera and the lighting right now. I'm sure it's my fault because I don't do this very well. Again, not a professional. It's not it's not professionally done. Um it's not scripted. All of these shows are live. All of these shows are live. And so and I speak off the cuff because well, we'll get to that part in a minute. So it's not scripted and I'm not telling you what is and isn't. Except for Jesus is God, is the Holy Spirit, is our Lord and Savior, and is the way, the truth, and the life. And no one gets to God except through Christ. That you'll see. You'll see with me. That you will see on this show. So there you go there. And maybe you don't want to go to church and listen to a pastor because you've got this idea in your mind after hearing stories about corrupt priests and pastors and whatever. You don't want to catch. You think that it's just a professional. They're just trying to get money from me. That's all. That's the whole game. That's their job. It's not how it works. But I understand. I understand that that might be how you feel from an outsider's perspective. That might be how you feel, and why you might be reticent to do it. You should. You should go to church, but maybe right now you're just feeling like talking to an average person, somebody not talking from the pulpit, but from in the pew sitting next to you, and can say, hey, been doing this a while. All right, this is what faith means to me. This is why I sit here and listen to these sermons. This is what it means to me. This is why it's important and why it's important for you too. So if that's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for. Welcome and pull up a chair and settle in. I think you'll like this. If you are already a Christian and you just enjoy Christian topics and discussions, welcome as well. We'll run this very similar to a Wednesday night study group or a Sunday school. It's about small group. That's what I'm saying. Talk about everything's live, everything's off the cuff. It's all conversational. It's all immediate reaction. Just like if we were all sitting in a room together, even though everybody could only see me and we could only read what and we could only hear me and we could only read what y'all write and see your avatars. But I want y'all in the chat, whether you are new, just seeking answers in Christianity, or you've been a Christian forever and you're better at it than I am, or somewhere in between. I don't care. Get in the chat. We want to hear from you. Be part of this show. Make it better, because that's what the chat does. And I like having you guys around. If you want to know how to be in the chat, it's easy. Tell me what you agree or disagree with. Where do you think I'm right? Where do you think I'm wrong? What unique insight or perspective do you have? Huh? Ask questions. Share your opinion. Like I said, it's a small group. We all care. Bring your come in just like you would a bar or a room full of friends, and put your worries, put what you're happy about, whatever. Put it right there on the counter so we can all see it and all be a part of it with you. Right? That's what it's about. Now, I believe the food is here. So before I get this show started, I am going to take a brief pause and go pick that stuff off the front porch before the raccoons get it. All right, hang on. Raccoon. Oh my goodness, guys. Their Parmesan garlic fries are so good. I want to be like the Damn Drops guy, talking about Five Guys. This is about Bonchon. Oh, it's so good. I love Bonchon. If y'all don't have one, I'm sorry. If you do have one, you should be eating there. Oh, it's so good. But unfortunately, I can't eat it on stream because this is not a weird food sounds ASMR channel. This is a Bible sounds ASMR channel and metrical salter ASMR channel. How's everybody doing? How's everybody out? Nico's first in the chat. Back to his glory. Back to the glory of Nico. Thad the man. I know some people are mad today. Please don't do something stupid and let the government January 6th. Excuse me. Excuse me, folks. Where are my manners? Careful leading me into stuff like that. I don't want to give YouTube an excuse to channel strike me. Speaking of channel strikes, on my Facebook, so everything streams here on YouTube also streams on my Facebook channel, my personal Facebook channel, and my Facebook page, my first Facebook channel, my personal Facebook page, and the Flawed Man of God Facebook page. If you don't use Facebook, great. If you do use Facebook at all, hey, give it a follow, give it a like. You'll see the videos, and sometimes I post memes on there that are very funny. Anyway, some Korean sports talk YouTube channel is copyright striking the intro music to my to my stream. The intro music that YouTube provides all content creators as an open use source. They have put copyright claims on 4 or 5, I believe, of my last um few shows over the last couple of weeks. And it is annoying. It is incredibly annoying. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And I'm tired of Facebook dealing with it. If it's irritating. It's irritating when I see the notification pop up because I gotta repeat everything I say when I dispute the claim because Facebook will take it down, which is silly, but it is what it is. Matt Felty said, I had no idea what's on order. Glad you're excited, though. I am always excited. Wings heading to me, waiting for me on the kitchen countertop right now. Alex Moore, welcome to the show. Yes, more Lord talk, always. Better put a capital L on that, Alex. And I know you're going to be here because Blaine gave up streaming for the rest of the week. Alias, cool, I made it. It is cool you made it. I'm glad to have you here. Alternate cat on cat herding. Well, not there yet. Steve Hawley, what is going on, sir? You think it's the shirt? It is the shirt, but it's an undershirt day, which means y'all know it's been a long day and I'm tired, so I've got my undershirt. I've only showed up in my undershirt. Oh, Texan Italian is here, sir. Hey, y'all. Howdy. And there it is, Texas Italian howdy. Steve Hawley, been searching for a cat since last week. One of your cats? Do you have cats? I know your brother is the biggest cat fan I know, I said sarcastically. Oh, no, will we lose that good intro song? No, no. I have won every dispute so far, and it's just a pain. It's just a pain. No, I link to YouTube providing the link. It's like, this is where you'll find the song, and this is where YouTube's saying this is open source. Period. 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 Matt Felty said, it's a scam. Sorry, you're dealing with that. It's a minor inconvenience. It's just irritating. It's like a sore. You can't stop worrying over it because it's always there. It's always reminding you it's there. Alex Moore, R.I.P. Blaine. I need a pre-show before back to books. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Thad Demand Point. Good point about strikes. Also won't suggest you talk about the name of Eisenhower's deportation plan. We'll keep it to ourselves. Is everybody having a good week? It's wrapping up. It's wrapping up tomorrow. Obviously, I don't stream on tomorrow. I've got church stuff tomorrow. And there you go. Hopefully you guys are winding down as well and looking forward to the weekend. Tonight we are going to talk about parents. Listening to your parents. Because that's what Psalm I keep doing that. We've been in Psalms so long. We've been in Psalms so long that I can't get out of it now that we're in Proverbs. This is the 6th episode covering Proverbs. I'm still calling it Psalm. Proverbs 6. Parental counsel. Parental counsel. Not all of us. This is not a universal thing. What we're talking about is parental counsel in the ideal sense that you have a responsible mom and dad in the home looking out for you. Or maybe you have a mother or father figure who takes that place, or a grandparent, or an uncle, aunt, or uncle, a big brother or sister. the folks looking out for you and giving you advice and counsel because you matter to them. Now, I say this as a parent who has kids I care deeply about. I say this as a son of parents who care deeply about me. But I know, even within my own family, that not everybody gets parents that care about them or are present. And sometimes, in bad case, I don't know. I don't know what is worse. If you have parents that are taken away from you by death earlier, and or if those parents just check out on you and don't want to be around you or are not um, good role models. I don't know which is worse because I'm not in. I have both of my parents, and both of my parents were involved. So I don't. I can't speak from that perspective. What I can speak of is something approaching the ideal. I didn't have the perfect parents. I'm not the perfect parent. But that desire, that smidgen of responsible behavior and sage wisdom that I can give to my kids that was given to me, imparted to me by my parents who weren't perfect but gave whatever advice they could that was reasonable, and a lot of it was valuable to me. And even deeply flawed parents can still give okay advice. Let's see, but that's the title of Proverbs 6. I got it right this time. Proverbs 6. So let's see where we go into there. So, all right, let me check up on the chat. Matt Felty said, likely a bot with a talk show identity. No, I mean, not even that. Kind of. I checked it out. It's just weird. It's just giving up sports updates or whatever. I don't understand. Steve Hawley said, yes, I have two cats. One got out last Friday when I let the dogs out. He usually just stays on the deck till the dogs start coming back in. He then runs in. Well, not Friday. He's been on the lam for a while. Hopefully, he's just getting into some mischief. But hope we've had a bad run of pets recently, Steve. Um, Blaine in the chat, his is got a terminal prognosis. Our oldest cat. We lost our oldest cat a few weeks ago, and Veritax lost his dog around the same time. So it's not been the best. It's not been the best time for the flawed folks' pets. Seems to come in bunches. Emmanuel is here. What's going on, sir? Gemini or Blaine goes missing for a week, and Gavin McGinnis calls anime watchers child predators. PDF files. Yeah. Um, Gavin's not one to throw stones, considering his well documented history. And this always irritates me because I thought he was hilarious back early 20s, boomer when I'm much more boomer con than I am now, but still, I used to watch Red Eye. And I didn't watch it at night. I'd watch it on the replay in the morning as me and my wife were getting ready for work. We both really thought Greg Gutfeld and that whole cast was hilarious. We just liked watching them because it was news, but it wasn't smarmy like The Daily Show. Also didn't have a leftward bend to it. We just got a kick out of it. And Gavin McGinnis would come on there as a guest sometimes, and he was funny. But he's also a total weirdo who does things on camera that nobody should do, even with the camera off. Emmanuel said Gavin, you idiot. I love lollies. I wouldn't admit to that. But that wouldn't mean that all of them are like it's a genre. It's not like that one tread thought. You've outweebed me on that one, Emmanuel. You outweebed me there. Um where was I? Oh. Steve said, "Did you see Liz had a photo with my grandpa?" That's his. He's talking to his brother. He was talking about his brother who he. I thought it was a good burn. You didn't see my laugh react on that? Did you see my laugh react on the Facebooks? I thought it was a good comment. I'll have to ask him. Uh, I'll have to ask him what his response is. I'm sure he's got something smarmy or sarcastic, or he'll just shrug it off. Ailey said, "Father was a complete and utter failure. Mother was a gift from God." Well, hey, deal with what you can, buddy. Glad you're here. You seem to be okay in many respects, overcoming obstacles. Parents that are, um, or one parent. Sorry, I'm not laughing at you, Alias, but I'm glad you've been able to overcome that. Glad you're here. Gemini. Yes, the Hammerhead Venti. Mm, I don't know that. I don't know that reference. Emmanuel said it must be the generational thing. It's not me not liking new shonen. I don't know if that's. I don't know. It's. I don't know what Gavin's issue is. Thad said Gutfeld's show is still funny at times. I wonder if they film it in New York, they should leave. I think that is in New York because they're all New York uh, New York residents. It's not as funny. A big key piece that's missing from Gutfeld's show now is Andy Levy, who I thought was great on there in his role. I don't know what he's doing now, but those two specifically worked really well together. Emmanuel said Gura is a cute VTuber, and guess what? Anime isn't leaving anytime soon, although there's a strong argument to gatekeep VTubers. No, no, Emmanuel, come back to the light. Leave the VTubers. They're not your friends. They don't want they lead you down into the. I'm gonna be Adam Sandler's mom and the Water Boy. VTubers are the devil. VTubers are the devil. Don't fall into the same trap that Solomon did. Steve Hawley about his comment about his brother. She said I'm on his list. He never responded to me when I asked him and then sent it to him. Yeah, on his list. And he's not on Facebook to defend himself. Gemini said, "Don't listen to Manuel. Keep your Oshi close to your heart." No. Release it. It's worldliness. It must be abandoned. This is parental counsel. Let's get into it. All right. um, Anime, old folks, whatever. We're gonna get into parental advice. No, no, he's gifted 100 subs. No, he's too far gone. There's no saving him now. I'll never take you for a simp, Osorio. I'll never take you for a simp. And Steve, no, I know people higher on it. That's a me level burn, Steve. That's why I appreciate it. It's something I would say, and it was clever. And it was well timed. It was just well done. And it's sibling. It's a sibling thing. Okay, okay, okay. Let's get into it. Proverbs 6. We've been talking about wisdom, discernment, the pitfalls of immorality. Last few streams, I have really come off off stream feeling like we had a really good episode. The content of the scripture is always great, but my delivery, my breakdown on it, it's not always the best. Sometimes my energy's not right, that I'm bringing into the show. Sometimes I'm not picking up on it all that well. Sometimes I don't bring you guys I don't bring you guys what y'all expect from me. And I get it. I'm not going to be 100% all the time, and I know you guys don't expect me to be that way. But there's this feeling, this charged up feeling when I have a good episode. Streaming is draining. I understand why it looks easy, and this is me not saying I'm tired physically, but from out here talking and everything, my brain is just fried. And part of that is I work I work during the day, spend time, I'm constantly going. And then this hour and a half that we spend together is a lot of me talking and trying to guide conversation and everything. So when we get done, I'm just done. It's not drugs, not drugs, Steve. But you know, I'm done with it, right? But and I'm ready to just chill, play some video games, maybe listen to Blaine stream or an audio book or whatever, and just completely just desaturate from the day until until I go to bed. But the energy and just the feeling and just that extra step when I go downstairs to get more water, fill my cup up with water, get a bite to eat or something like that. You're just kind of like, man, it's been really good. The content, just everything that we do, everything seemed to be clicking. That's what comes from good episode. And I'm always pumped when I feel like I did a good job and I had a good time relating with you guys. That's what Proverbs has been. That's what Proverbs has been. And that's what we're talking about. Just because it's heavy issues, but it's easy stuff. Not easy. It's meat, right? It's red meat for us talking about wholesome behavior and what we need to watch out for. It's red meat in the fact of it's it's good wisdom and it's stuff that we struggle with. We can relate to this. It's easy and it's so well put in. Solomon does such a great job putting this stuff down so far that it has been easy for me to carry a show talking about it. And it's easy for me to be introspective. It's easy for me to apply it. And that's what I love about Proverbs. Parental counsel. My son, if you have become surety, guaranteed a debt or obligation for your neighbor, if you have given your pledge for the debt of a stranger or another outside of your family, this is stuff that was common back then. The economy worked a little bit different back then. There's a lot of bartering. It wasn't any central banking or anything. Um, I know we're talking about Israel, but there's no such central banking here. Um, but there were things that, and and a lot of times this community came together in really positive ways to cover things like debt, poverty, and stuff like this. So if you basically talking about, if you become a guarantor for your neighbor, and if you've given your pledge to the debt for somebody you don't know or someone out of the family, if you have been snared with the words of your lips, if you have been trapped by the speech of your mouth, do this now, my son, and release yourself from the obligation. Since you have come into the hand of your neighbor, go humble yourself and plead with your neighbor to pay his debt and release you. Give no unnecessary sleep to your eyes, nor slumber to your eyelids. Tear yourself away like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, and like a bird from the hand of the fowler. And we're going to back up a little bit. Unfortunately, we do not live in this wholesome society anymore. We do have central banking. We are, I think pretty much everybody in the chat, at least, not sure if everybody who's listening, everybody, the entire audience, but pretty much the folks in the chat are Americans. We live in a society and a culture that is just driven by debt. We live in a government that is in love with debt. Everything's debted. And there really is no forgiveness. I know there's forgiveness. There's some talk about student loan forgiveness. That doesn't apply to everybody. Trust me, I know we still have outstanding loans for my wife's schooling. They haven't been forgiven. And many of you probably in the same place. My mortgage is never going to be forgiven. My car note is never going to be forgiven. These things, we can't just say, I can't pay it anymore, let me out of this. There is bankruptcy and relief there. There's repossession, which makes for some interesting YouTube or Facebook reels. And maybe that's a good, not the repossession, but the bankruptcy is a good place to start with this. But it goes beyond finances. You just owe somebody because they've helped you out. And maybe they're holding it over your head or whatever. Just, if you can't do something, don't let it consume you to the point where you are suicidal. Financial stress is a killer on its own, minus the fact that we have men, especially, killing themselves over debt. And we have big recessions, overt recessions like 2008. You see that stuff go into overdrive. All that 401k drama back in 2019 around COVID, 2018, 2019 around COVID, that drove people nuts, drove people in the early graves. But don't do that. Money is money. It is not your lifeblood. It is not your means to salvation. Debt, sometimes you can't pay it back. And what do we all know about that? The debt that we incur with our sin, we can never pay it back. That's why Christ put himself on a cross for us, allowed himself to be crucified because he didn't have to be. He didn't have to get down there and do it. He chose to come down here and do it to pay our debts. Humble yourself. Plead with your neighbor to release you. Tear yourself away like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the hand of the fowler. This gives a very predatory scene here. Go to the ant, O lazy one, observe her ways and be wise, which, having no chief, overseer, or ruler, she prepares her food in the summer and brings in her provisions of food for the winter in the harvest. How long will you lie down, O lazy one? When you arise from your sleep and learn self discipline? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to lie down and rest. So your poverty will come like an approaching prowler who walks slowly but surely. And your need will come like an armed man making you helpless. Looks like he changed gears here, talking about debt here in this first 1 through 5. Starting up at 6 sounds like we're kind of in a different place, different theme. This is laziness. It's a big one for me. Procrastination. Woo, why do today what you can put off for tomorrow? Just put it off for tomorrow. You better be prepared. You need to be prepared. That doesn't mean sit on your butt and do nothing. Make sure you can pay for yourself. I'm gonna get into that, Matt, because I picked up later that I think I was might have been wrong about you. That thank you for calling me out. I'm gonna circle back to that once we get done with this. Go to the ant. Observe her ways to be wise, which having no chief overseer ruler, she has a queen, but these guys they go out on instinct. The queen doesn't follow them around and watch them. They go out. They know what the mission. They understand the assignment. They go out, get what they need, and bring out, and they continue to work, and they continue to work, and they continue to work, and they're prepared. How long will you lie down, O lazy one? And when will you arise from your sleep and learn self-discipline? Your poverty will come like an approaching prowler who walks slowly but surely, reaping what you sow. So if you sow nothing, eventually you will have nothing, and your need will come like an armed man making you helpless. I will need things like food, water, and shelter, but I haven't done anything to earn it, anything to pay for it, I haven't planted anything. I haven't built anything. I haven't provided services or goods to barter to afford those things. I've just sat around. Then this is an interesting time when we feel like nobody's working, or where the workforce is so weird, where it feels like there's only a specific number of people in the country who are choosing to come out and work. And we don't know what happened to the rest of the folks. Did they all die of COVID? What happened? Where are they what are they doing? Don't know. Matt Felty brought this up about 1 through 5, and I need to make a uh, correction here. Matt Felty said 1 through 5 said this is saying go to the original debtor and tell him to hustle because you're on the hook. But yeah, I was saying this like going back to the person who's owed the stuff. No, this is talking like co-signing for a loan for somebody, and then they decide, and then they're getting behind on their payments, and you go, hey, dude, you asked me to sign my name next to yours, saying that you were good for this debt, that you would pay this back, and that I was putting up some of my own capital, my own possessions as a guarantee. And now you're not living up to your end of the bargain. You need to do what you can, even if it involves humbling yourself in front of them to get them to get themselves up, and as Matt said, hustle because you're on the hook because you are the guarantor. Thanks for that, Matt. Said needed a transition warning. I thought it was discussion time. Well, it is kind of. I'm not doing this like the Psalms, where I'm going to read through the whole thing, then read through it again. Get right, refinance without me. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Matt. You want to refinance and get my name off that daggone loan, please. My dad told me, and this we talk about parental counsel. My dad told me a long time ago, don't co-sign for anybody. He said, as he was co-signing for me, do not co-sign for anybody. I had a friend who wanted me to co-sign for something with them. My dad was emphatic. Do not do it. You're not old enough. You don't know this person well enough. Y'all are young and immature. He's gonna nope, nope. He will leave you high and dry. We never got figured out because he didn't. Without me to co-sign, he didn't get the loan that he wanted, and so we never found out. But no, what's going on, Octavia? How you doing? Hello from Virginia. Hello from a few miles from your cousins or from from your extended family. Hello from the internet. Hope you're doing well. All right, where are we at? All right, transition time, Matt, because now I'm seeing it. A worthless person, a wicked man, is one who walks with a perverse, corrupt, and vulgar mouth. Okay, this one's I feel attacked right now, because I got a bit of a potty mouth from time to time. Picked it up before the army. The army didn't make it any better though. A wicked man is one who walks with a perverse, corrupt, and vulgar mouth, who winks with his eyes in mockery, who shuffles his feet to signal, who points with his fingers to give subversive instruction. I think there's some cultural stuff here that I'm not picking up on, but I'm assuming this is stuff that is done to denote um, crass behavior, like middle finger, um, sarcastic insinuations, and stuff like that. Who perversely in his heart plots trouble and can even hang on, let me go back. Who winks with his eyes in mockery, who shuffles his feet to signal, who points with his fingers to give subversive instruction, who perversely in his heart plots trouble and evil continually, who spreads discord and strife. Therefore, the crushing weight of his disaster will come suddenly upon him. Instantly, he will be broken, and there will be no healing or remedy because he has no heart for God. All right, there we go. So, back to the beginning. Does anybody else have a problem uh, with their minding their language? I don't do it around my kids. I don't do it around church. I don't do it on this stream for the most part. Catch me out in the wild though. It's a bit of a different um it's a bit of a different vernacular from me. Like I said, my mom's mother, my grandmother, swore like a sailor. I heard words that she used that would make the drill sergeants blush that I had in basic training. Um, Pick that up. Um, Heard a lot of it growing. Heard a lot of curse words and vulgarity growing up. It's been and communicating around in the military, in mechanical shops, around men, um, in blue collar settings. Curse words are oftentimes part of the part of the language. Um, there are various or there's differing opinions on vulgarity, what constitutes vulgarity in the Lord's eyes, and I don't have a good answer there. I do know, or I do have a very strong opinion that taking the Lord's name in vain, GD, JC, just using it as an expletive, is wrong. That, thankfully, for several years now, I'm proud to say, is not something I do anymore. I have removed that from my language, and I find um, those terms way worse than the F word. I'm not going to preach to you on that. If you think you're doing the wrong thing, stop. Try to stop. All right. And if you think it's okay, um, maybe just consider the possibility you could be wrong, because that's what I do. And it says, who winks with his eyes in mockery, who shuffles his feet, the cigarette, points to his fingers, or is this stuff like using a sarcastic tone, condescend to people, maybe argue with somebody harshly on the internet. Yeah, guilty of some of that. Guilty of some of that. Um, Mostly in just an argumentative standpoint, and just that's probably not what I don't feel good when I feel good when I say something clever, but when it's all said and done, I'm like, yeah, I wish I just hadn't done that. Oh, that's cool. I sound all great, but a lot of times I come walk away going, I rather would have not done that at all. You want to talk about things that I still have to work on? That's a big one. That's a big one. Running my mouth. But especially on faith conversations, I am so passionate about it that I just run towards it. Somebody says something that I think is insulting my fellow Christians or God, man, I run out there putting the shield on, Deus volting. So um that's just kind of that, like I said, that's something I need to work on. Who perversely in his heart plots trouble. Then here it changes a little bit. Perversely in his heart plots trouble and evil continually, who spreads discord and strife. Now we're going to a different level. This is one that I don't really go to. This is one starting trouble, instigating, trying to subvert, trying to um, turn people against each other, trying to um, create a fight, create a rift, tear people apart. Um, it was There were some folks, I believe, who thought that then when I was um, campaigning against decisions that were made at the church I used to go to, um, because I thought that those decisions were being driven from one source, that I was trying to cause a rift. How I dealt with that is a difficult thing in church. It's a difficult thing to stand on your principles and try not to be divisive if those principles aren't being taken seriously by leadership, or if they're just not shared by leadership. Um, I think mm, I think that's something a little bit different. When you're arguing about what is important in honoring God, following his commandments, doing this, it isn't a personal vendetta against somebody, which is something that was also confused. A lot of folks thought I had a personal beef or gripe with one of the people there, just because we didn't really get along all that well. I don't care about that. I don't care if I don't get along with you. I want you in heaven. I want to call you a brother or sister in Christ. Even if, you know, maybe we don't hang out. Maybe we shouldn't hang out and try to force things. Doesn't mean I don't wish you well. Doesn't mean I don't want you to be happy in and healthy in Christ. In a way that, is true to the personality that you have. I don't expect myself to be able to mesh with everybody. What I care about, what is important to me, is that we do what God commands. And if I feel that we're not, I'm going to take significant exemption to that. And I'm going to protect the people I feel like I'm supposed to protect and look out for. That's my natural state. I am a person who wants to defend and protect those that I love that are around me. Um, Maybe you guys have found yourselves in similar positions. I don't think that's the same. What I think is, just for the fun of it, or just to spread, just because I like wickedness so much, I am going to sow discord. Now, how much of that is in the nature of Satan? Matt Felty providing context here. We said, he who winks or who winks with his eyes in mockery. Winks are white lies. Wiggle room played as a joke. Okay. Feet shuffle is a false promise. So who shuffles his feet to signal? I guess that's crossing your fingers behind your back. Points, think crazy or blah blah sign while on speakerphone. Okay. Points with his fingers. It's hard not to microanalyze, but along those lines, caution. Okay. Things that you're doing. Things that are mocking in a non-constructive way. And I get it, maybe you're venting. Maybe that person on that Teams call is really, really sounds like a jerk. And maybe you just don't like him. Pray for him. And I know I sound what a buddy of mine calls Puritan kvetching about it. This is talking about alternatives that we could do that can help us improve ourselves. This is not me trying to shame anybody. This is what you could do that'll be better. Thought that was good. Thanks for that, Matt. That was very helpful. This is stuff we can work on. We can constantly improve. If you get to the point where you are actively trying to pull people apart and create strife, you are not doing what is good in the eyes of the Lord. You are doing what is good in the eyes of Satan. And that we need to avoid bigly, because that can that can create a rot in your heart, and it'll only get bigger. And therefore, the crushing weight of his disaster will come suddenly upon him. Instantly, he will be broken, and there will be no healing or remedy because he has no heart for God. As we say, as we say on the videos now, life comes at you fast. Sometime sometimes the results of your actions come swift and severe. Be careful what you do. Trolls, yes, online trolls, yes. I troll a bit, um, mo- for the most part. For the vast majority of my trolling is done among peers, as a just for fun. But yes, trolling, being a troll. There you go. Which is why they call it trolls, and not just trolling. And you think of fishing trolling. All right, what's next? Ooh, we got a lot. We got a long ways to go. Ah, where was it? Ah, here we go. These 6 things the Lord hates. Indeed, 7 are repulsive to him. Why are we counting like that? A proud look, the attitude that makes one overestimate himself and discount others. A lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. A heart that creates wicked plans. Feet that run swiftly to evil. A false witness who breathes out lies or even have truths. And one who spreads discord and rumors among brothers. You'll note that a lot of that stuff you'll find in the 10 Commandments. But pride, deceit, murder, wickedness, plotting to do wickedness, the compulsion to do evil, weak will and constitution, and standing up to evil and just giving into it easily. False witness right there with deceit, big time deceit there, and one who spreads discord and rumors among brothers. We've spoken on that already pretty much, and why that's ugly and abhorrent to the Lord. Emmanuel on the last passage, geez, that escalated quickly, but yes, I get it. It's all about the discipline to change. It's all about the discipline to change. It is. We're working towards an ideal. We're not going to get there, but that's what we're working towards. Alias, about language. It slips more often than I would like. I actively do it. Thad said, I do try to avoid it, but it slip occasionally. If you read my Twitter feed today, you would have seen that about Nick, not Trump. I haven't, no, I haven't seen your feed. Maybe I'll peruse it a bit. Matt Felty said, my first take is understanding continually is the focus and how we know worthless/wicked, bad or corrupt heart. So we'll want to take notice when it occurs and always be on guard to not let changes come and take hold. Negative changes. Obviously, and I know you know this, and I'm not saying you implied this, but just for clarification's sake for everybody, changes that are bad. Good changes we want to keep. Changes slipping into bad behavior is what Matt's talking about here. We want to be on the lookout for that because it's easy to do. It's easy to do when you're not holding yourself accountable, when you're not praying to God, when your fellows at church aren't holding you accountable. There you go. Alias said, I'm a trucker, but I think I swear like a sailor. That's like because you are a trucker. Truckers are basically land sailors. I mean, think of the job. Think of the two jobs. The only difference is the medium on which you're traveling. traveling officer. I'm not driving, I'm traveling. Thad the man, even if it is not a sin, it's vulgar and crude, meaning unrefined. There you go. Ale said, then I have friends that are sailors and they say they curse like truckers. There we go. We got Matt Felty clearing up stuff right there. Exactly, stuff like that is cultural context, then the plotting is on another level. Yes, it is. But I think one can, these are levels that you can sink it. It starts with this, and then it leads to this, and then it leads to this. The gateway sins. Talk about trolling. Remember, kids, never turn into a Night Lord type of person, because the more we act on our selfishness, we become the people we try not to become. What about Alpha Legion, Emmanuel? Land sailors. Like I said, yeah, I need to work on my swearing. I am at least happy that I have sworn a handful of times in front of my kids. For the most part, I have done a very good job abstaining from cursing in front of them from jump. That is a personal thing that I'm happy with myself. Not to say that I'm better than anybody. That is because my language is terrible often, but I've been able for the most part to keep away from doing it in front of my kids because I don't want them picking up on my bad habits. Here we go. My son, transition period, Matt. My son, be guided by your father's God given commandment, instruction, and do not reject the teaching of your mother. Bind them continually upon your heart in your thoughts and tie them around your neck. When you walk about, the godly teachings of your parents, will guide you. When you sleep, they will watch over you. When you awake, they will talk to you. For the commandment is a lamp, and the teaching of the law is light, and reproofs, rebukes for discipline are the way of life. We'll tie those together. All right. I've gotten sage wisdom, a lot of it from my dad. Not a perfect guy. He's made his mistakes. I have learned from some of his mistakes, which I'm sure he's happy that I've paid attention to that. But he has given me boatloads of one-liner wisdom pieces that I constantly use, and I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that he's still with me. And my mom has given me family advice and shown me how far affection will go how far affection goes in a child's life. But there are things in life that you will learn from your parents and hold on to that are important. And this is basically a great way of explaining it. Bind them continually on your heart and in your thoughts and tie them around your neck. This is just like the wisdom we were talking about. Hold on to it because this is wisdom that they are giving you. This advice will guide you. It will watch over you, and when you wake, it'll talk. It's something that you can ponder over. You can constantly use as reference. For the commandment is a lamp, and the teaching is light, and reproofs and rebukes for discipline are the way of life. Don't think that all criticism is negative. Be objective. Don't personalize it. Did you do something wrong? Maybe you don't feel like you did. Maybe you think they're doing it just because it's personal. Can you honestly think, can you be honest with yourself and think you did it right? And will you open up your mind enough to listen to somebody offering advice that you should be respectful of and accept that perhaps you're wrong? Alias says, I've been honestly trying to work on my swearing, and I'm shocked how easily it pops out when I'm not paying attention. It will pop out there sometimes. Emmanuel said, I say Night Lord because I tend to lean more that way. I'm more in the Thousand Suns and Alpha Legion. If I was going to have a Chaos Legion that I was with, it would be one of those two. Culture, Matt Felty offering context here. This is context, bro. Here, I say that in a good way, Matt. Culturally, the child was at home all the time, and Scripture explained and taught, eventually leading to verses and passages on doorway and head placement of devout Jews today. Yeah, that's how things were supposed to be. The man's job was Scripture and teaching, and then of course soft skills for the mother, as God intended. Yes, as God intended, as God put this stuff for us, and has the we should culturally. It's interesting to see how far away we've drifted from that as we have become um, two working parent households, and I'm just as guilty of that as any other. But me and my wife both work. Could we be doing better? Yes, but we also are blessed enough to have family in the house with us, watching our kids and then helping with that instruction, who have raised kids before and done an okay job with it. So we've got a buffer there. Here we go. Emmanuel, I'm thinking of you now. To keep you from the evil woman, from the flattery of the smooth tongue of an immoral woman. You so pretty. Do not desire, lust after her beauty in your heart, nor let her capture you with her eyelashes, batting her eyes at you. For on account of a prostitute, one is reduced to a piece of bread to be eaten up, and the immoral woman hunts with a hook the precious life of a man. I'll keep going. Can a man take fire to his chest and his clothes not be burned? Or can a man walk on hot coals and his feet not be scorched? So is the one who goes into his neighbor's wife. We know what going into means. We're all adults. We all know what the birds and the bees are. Whoever touches her will not be found innocent or go unpunished. Sexual sin here, folks. Talking about from a bachelor standpoint, it sounds like, and from a married standpoint. Infidelity is infidelity. Adultery is adultery. If you are not married to your lover, married in the correct ways that the Lord sees marriage to be, it's still adultery. If you're both not married, it's still adultery. If you're married and she isn't, adultery. If she's married and you're not married, adultery. It is um, sexual sin can destroy people. It's not just a struggle that men deal with, but it is one that we seem to be more to have more of a proclivity to do. But hey, look, this is a warning from a man to fall into that sin from a woman. So you already see both perspectives, the woman tempting and the man giving in and not holding to his principles. Fire to the chest is heart language. I think of it as a simple metaphor, Matt. Can't you don't put to me it's tantamount to you think you're going to put your hand on the stove and not be burned? If you've got fire and you hold it close to you, are you not going to catch fire? If you've got a torch in your hand and you just all of a sudden hug it, you think that I'm just going to be okay. It's the same thing. Lie lie down with pigs, get and right, you're just as dirty as they are. Lie down with dogs. I don't let me screw that idiom up. But you know what I mean. Temptation will get its hooks into you, whether it's a woman or a man, whether it's a bottle, whether it's a pills, whether it's pills, whether it's everything. With porn, porn's a huge thing. It's all wrong. It's all toxic to you. Well, no, it doesn't really that's usually not the case though. I think that if you're at the point now where you're that's what not you. If a guy is at the point now where that's what he's thinking, he's already he's already several layers into into that problem. That's one of the things about Drex that I don't think is correct, wholesome approval or anything. Doesn't make it right. It's the whataboutism. Well, they're gonna be out there again. This is a faith thing. Are you trying to do the Lord's commandments? Are you trying to live a life um like what he asks of us, or are you not? This is genuine. This is talking about before you even get to that point of debasement. This is to the point where you just have you physically attracted to somebody. You have you have hormones and lust in your heart, and you see a pretty girl who says some nice things to you and invites you back to her place. It's the ideal. It's what we're commanded to do. Is it do we always I was not a virgin when I went into when I went to marriage. Neither was my wife. We had both been together and had been with other people before we started dating. This is advice to keep you from making mistakes. Can't control it after you. But after you've done it, you can warn others about the mistakes you've made. Like specifically your kids. Don't do this. And if you do, there's going to be some there's going to be some sorry, I got distracted. Um don't do this. And if you do this, there're going to be some repercussions. One is you're sinning. The worst thing is you just fall deeper and deeper into that sin, or it leads you into other sins. This can start the flattering, smooth tongue of an immoral woman. They can start there. It can go as far as or worse than having an affair with a married woman. which, by the way, and when this was written, was punishable by death. Night, Steve. See you later. It's not an easy thing for us. We have desire. We have a drive. So what's the discernment here? Identify an evil woman. Um, the discernment is control yourself. Don't let somebody else pull you into. Don't let somebody else play on your desires and your weaknesses to pull you down into sin with them. You are responsible for your actions. Nobody else. That doesn't make it okay for them to do what they're doing. But you answer for your sins, especially if we're reading this, we've been told. This has been written on our conscience. Control yourself. Master your master what am I what's the word master your weaknesses, I guess. Impulses, I guess. Master your impulses, whatever. When your body's telling you, do this, do this, do this. I'm better than this. I'm better than that. This might wrap us up here. Transition point, Matt. The pagan foreigner, yeah. Trying to get responses, right discernment. People do not people do not despise himself. I'm sorry. All right. Let me start on this again. People do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy himself when he is hungry. We understand that. But when he is found, he must repay 7 times what he stole. He must give all the property of his house, if necessary, to meet his fine. But whoever commits adultery with a woman lacks common sense and sound judgment and an understanding of moral principles. He would destroy his soul. He who would destroy his soul does it. Wounds and disgrace he will find, and his reproach and blame will not be blotted out. For jealousy enrages the wronged husband, and he will not spare the guilty one on the day of vengeance. He will not accept any ransom offered to buy him off from demanding full punishment, nor will he be satisfied though you offer him many gifts and bribes. I was wondering who was going to go there, Gemini. It's not surprising to me that you went there, but I understand. Look, thief steals, he's hungry. He's hungry. You can understand when a thief steals because he needs to eat to live. But if he's caught, there's repercussions for that, and there is recompense. He's got to repay 7 times what he stole. He's got to give all the property of his house up in order to, to make that payment. He has to provide restitution. There isn't restitution for adultery. And a man who is committed and in love with his wife, who is devoted to her truly, and sees himself as a man and as a husband, he is not going to forgive you for being a part of a betrayal. Because you've played a part. You've played a part in that dishonor and corrupting that that relationship and that bond. No, if she's out there looking for strange, that there's probably already corruption there. But the Bible does, Scripture does allow for divorce from adultery. So it's stupid to get involved with it. It's stupid to be in that situation. So don't get in that situation. Don't put yourself in that situation. You are getting into somebody else's relationship, somebody else's lives, and you don't know what's going to happen. So, all right. Nope. One proverb, hour and a half of discussion. And my bonchon is cold. So we are going to make our way towards closing out this stream, closing out this week. And reminder, I probably won't be streaming much for the in the month of June. But there will be times where I'm streaming, but a lot of time that I'll be away. Like I said, it's for other commitments I have. Some of them leisure, some of them professional. But I will be back. July, and July should be a much more full time frame. Softball season will be over for the most part. I think we might have playoffs, but so there'll be much more Monday through Thursday streaming, and maybe Blaine will be back. I might have to put together an election night stream. I know we're months away from that, an election night stream, and start getting people to come on the stream, and as we just track the election. Anyway, that's just me thinking in ADHD mode. Oh. Oh no, not my kid playing softball. Me playing softball in the playoffs. It's my church softball team. So, Alex, you're not allowed to sleep. We just went over this in the proverb too. How long will you lie down, O lazy one? When will you arise from your sleep and learn self-discipline? But anyway, so guys, just giving you guys a heads up. Don't forget to watch 1776. I wasn't there, Gandalf. Thad the Man, Geminier, Alex, Alias, Matt Felty, Emmanuel Osorio, Steve Hawley, who is left. Said Alias, said Thad. Good, all you guys. It's been mostly you guys for the most part, though. haven't seen Lucy in a while. Need Lucy to pop back in here. He was here last week, though, I think. Just haven't seen him this week. And Nico. First in the chat, but then kind of disappeared. Hey, listen, all we know, Stu, you don't really care, so we're all turning Catholic. Just don't look if you turn Catholic, just make sure you don't turn into an Instagram Catholic. Gosh, those folks, they're just bad at their job. They're not sending their best, right? Okay. So, you guys in the chat, thank you. Thank you for contributions. Thank you for being there. Thank you for making this stream better. To everybody listening to this show and not participating in the chat like I want you to, I'm just happy that you're here. I'm glad that you like coming and listening and come back for more. For everybody catching this on replay, thank you for watching. I'm sorry I missed you, but I hope to catch you live sometime soon. We have a good weekend coming up. I want you all to be safe. I want you all to be I want you to have a safe, restful, productive, fulfilling weekend. Go to church. Go to church. I love y'all. Have a good night, and God bless.